Hey everyone, Gill Gross here. Post-match, Novak Djokovic versus Stefanos Tsitsipas, Paris Masters 2022 semifinal. If you're not here for spoilers, click off the video in 3, 2, 1. Great match. Novak Djokovic wins it in a third set tiebreak. Tsitsipas, a lot to be proud of. Terrific effort by him. But Novak, 7-4 in the final set tiebreak after being down 4-3, 4 consecutive points. And that's where I want to start. I'll rewind to the second set and the first set briefly, but let's just start with this tiebreak. First of all, how did Tsitsipas and why did Tsitsipas build the lead? Well, Djokovic got caught twice in a row trying to force the ball to Tsitsipas's backhand. That was obviously, the mindset for Novak. We saw it throughout the rallies in this tiebreak. All right, it's a pressure moment. And I don't think Tsitsipas's backhand really holds up under pressure. So if there's one thing I'm gonna do, no matter what, it is make Tsitsipas hit a lot of backhands in this tiebreak. Because I don't think he's going to hurt me on his backhand, and he'll probably miss some. I think that's kind of Novak's mentality in this breaker, and that's kind of how he played. But obviously when Djokovic has forehands and he's trying to force it to Tsitsipas's backhand, he is changing direction. And the timing needs to be a little bit more perfect when you're changing direction or you miss. That's why it's more difficult to go down the line. And Novak is usually, look, his timing is the best in the world, but still, it's hard. And Djokovic missed 2 forehands in this tiebreak early on, trying to force the ball to Tsitsipas's backhand because he's going for the riskier shot. So credit to Stefanos' forehand in a way, because Djokovic feels that pressure to try to get it to his backhand, if you want to twist it in a way that is, more positive for Tsitsipas. So that's how Novak kind of goes down early on. And then there is this, there's this awesome point at 3-all by Tsitsipas with this defensive lob to restart the point, breaks Djokovic's contact point with the forehand that gets low on Novak, and then Tsitsipas hits an inside-out forehand for a winner. So he's up 4-3, and this is where it turns, with Tsitsipas up 4-3, where Djokovic gets those, Djokovic gets the purchase from getting it to Steph's backhand, which he was looking for. So, look, Tsitsipas's backhand trade definitely betrayed him again. At 3-all, first of all, at 1-all, Tsitsipas hit a bad trade into the middle. Djokovic hit a forehand cross-court angled winner. Long rally, good rally. But that's a Tsitsipas backhand to Djokovic forehand winner. At 4-3, Tsitsipas backhand cross-court, too weak, too slow. Djokovic runs around, forehand inside and winner. So that's 2 times. That's backhand trade to Djokovic forehand winner twice. At 4-all, Tsitsipas backhand trade, unforced error. Now Djokovic has a 5-4 lead. This is the point that really decided the match. Tsitsipas played an awesome point. He played so well in this rally. Some great backhand slices, really good footwork, a brilliant forehand inside in. I'm not sure how Djokovic was able to defend it, but somehow he got it back. And ultimately, Tsitsipas opened up the court. Djokovic, forehand defense. Where does he go? Down the line to get it to Tsitsipas's backhand. And to Steph's credit, absolute ripper. Crushes it cross court into the open court, finds the short ball he is looking for. Now, I normally don't take screenshots on post-match videos, but I was very compelled to do so on this occasion. So here's the short ball I'm talking about that Tsitsipas created. And right now, he has this mid-court forehand, which he's so good at. Look at Djokovic's hips, ladies and gentlemen. Djokovic's hips completely pointing towards the Paris logo in the middle of the court. It looks at this moment as the ball is well onto Tsitsipas' side of the court, and Steph in his mind is having to make a decision about where he's going to go with this ball. It looks like Djokovic is selling out to try to recover to the middle and cover the open court. Now I'm going to shift to contact point here. Here's contact. And as you can see, Novak has completely shifted his hips. He's turned his hips and he's stopped on a dime. So he stayed in his backhand corner instead of recovering to the middle. It looks like he's going to recover to the middle. Tsitsipas goes, I'll go behind him. But Djokovic just stays there. And that set up for Novak a comfortable backhand pass, which he directed down the line. And then Tsitsipas missed the forehand volley, which was a makeable but difficult, especially under pressure volley. So, Tsitsipas did a million things well. You could watch that rally. He did a million things well. Djokovic defense, and in the final sequence, very savvy off-ball movement by Novak. Anticipatory skills, whatever you want to call it. Savvy off-ball movement by Novak to give himself a chance. And then Tsitsipas, the one mistake he made was makeable volley, didn't make it. Then Djokovic at 6-4 did what he did all throughout the third set, which is dominant first strike tennis behind his serve. Serve, forehand, overhead. There it is. Boom. Done. And there's your tiebreak. So, look, it's kind of the same old story. If I kind of think about it, I think Tsitsipas kind of really gave up some points with his backhand deficiency and his backhand weakness. I also think that Novak gave up some points trying to get it there. And then in the end, I think it was a fantastic and epic scramble by Novak that, in crunch time that really turned the match. Now, throughout the third set, Djokovic was incredibly dominant on serve. Tsitsipas's returning was pretty non-existent. He wasn't able to get himself really in position here, and Djokovic won 17 of 18 first serve points, 12 of 14 second serve points, and that's puzzling. And on the other hand, Steph was kind of scrapping and clawing on his own service games, but doing very nicely on some key baseline rallies to win it. Djokovic was fairly passive trying to get the break of serve when he had the opportunity to do so in the third set, because I do think his mentality against Tsitsipas is a little bit too, sometimes a little bit too passive. I think he was kind of waiting for errors to a certain extent, and Tsitsipas did answer the bell, did take advantage of that on a lot of key baseline rallies during the third set, especially late in his service games under pressure, and that's why he was able to force the tiebreak. But ultimately, Djokovic was getting the better of the play throughout the entirety of the third set with his first strike tennis, and you still see some of that return and backhand defense deficiencies kind of coming up for Tsitsipas when someone's playing really solid first strike tennis against him. Moving backwards to the first set, it actually, I think, ties in a lot to what we saw on that 5-4 point, where there were a lot of occasions in the first set. Djokovic was just God mode. He was way too good. It felt like there was nothing Steph could do. It was a level from Mars. The first break of serve, Tsitsipas didn't really make any errors, and Tsitsipas had forehand, attacking forehands to hit, and he got countered for a backhand winner down the line on one, and then he got passed on the next two. And it's like, whoa, so you're telling me the break of serve was Tsitsipas getting attackable forehands, not missing any, and he got his serve broken. The other thing on the break point, he missed a makeable volley that was not easy but makeable. just like that 5-4 point. So you see some similarities there. Novak, his defense is still incredible. It is still world class. And I thought this was a really good showing defensively by Novak. The first strike tennis was on point. Djokovic only made one unforced error in the first set. In the second set, what was the shift we saw? Tsitsipas was able to win that middle frame. Look, I don't think he did really anything interesting tactically, or he really changed much at all. But the forehand, which Tsitsipas definitely came out with a very aggressive mentality on his forehand, that he was going to really try to make a lot happen with it, hit it very, very big. It caught fire in this second set. And that's not Tsitsipas getting lucky. That's not really any sort of fluke. It's just the Tsitsipas forehand is a great shot, a very good shot. And sometimes it's just going to get in that zone where it's kind of taking over a lot of these rallies. And I thought Tsitsipas did that in the second set, while the Djokovic forehand, it went off. And I think Djokovic was double-digit unforced errors in the second set after committing just one in the first set. And it was mainly, I thought, the forehand just getting rushed on a couple of occasions, especially. And come to think of it, in the moments in this head-to-head where Tsitsipas has had the upper hand, which has quite frankly not been the case very often. Tsitsipas's last win coming, I believe, in 2018 in Canada. It has been oftentimes Tsitsipas overpowering Novak on the forehand-to-forehand exchanges, and I did see a little bit of that in that second set. But ultimately, it was mostly execution falling off for Novak and execution on the forehand rising to the best possible level for Tsitsipas. That was the main difference for me. So that's it. It was I do think in the second set, I want to give Tsitsipas also some credit for getting the crowd involved. I thought that was a really smart move by him to just change the energy of the match. And look, all in all, although I still felt like Djokovic had every technical and tactical advantage in this match, I was really happy to see the compete level from Tsitsipas and the effort from him, because when Stefanos first came on to tour, one of the things I liked best about him was that I felt that he found the idea that he was going to lose to the best in the world highly offensive. Every time he stepped on the court, I thought that he expected of himself that he was going to win the match, and he competed as if anything else was not an acceptable result. And there have been occasions this year where I haven't quite seen that from him. I've seen some resignation. I've seen some demoralization. Sometimes the effort level dipping when he's hit adversity. And this is what I'm talking about. God, it was great to see the way Tsitsipas competed in this match, because after getting dominated in the first set, Djokovic level on Mars, Stefanos dug his heels in, upped the intensity, got the crowd involved. And when I say that, I know that's kind of a vague term. I mean that he was asking for the crowd to get behind him, making that request. And they did. And I'm not sure it would have happened if Stefanos didn't ask them to do it. And just shifting the energy in that match. And that was really, really good to see. So Tsitsipas should be happy. And then for Djokovic, the win streak continues. It is now 14 matches in a row. 21 if you consider Laver Cup an exhibition. Wink, wink. And his immaculate form continues. Holger Rune in the next round is going to be really interesting. Rune was able to shut down the serve of Felix Auger-Aliassime. Really the first person to do that on these indoor hard courts all year long. I mean, Michael Lemur made some decent progress in that category, but really nobody's been able to do it to the extent that Rune just did it. And it's been continuously very, very impressive from Rune. I'm curious to see what the serve of Rune, which has been so effective, looks like against the return of Djokovic. And that will be the final. I will have coverage of that on Monday Match Analysis. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time.